come over here and put some more lighting in here. Let some more light shine through. I'm so glad to be back live with you guys on today. But I just have to brighten it up in here a little bit more. Ooh, I hope y'all had a beautiful, happy Mother's Day. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. How y'all doing on today? Yesterday was just absolutely phenomenal. My daughter, my oldest daughter, took me to get a foot spa. I've never done that before, and I was so grateful and so happy. She just was like, "Mama, what you want to do for Mother's Day?" And I was like, let's just go to the spa. You know, that's something that I've never done before. I'm telling you, I love the experience. But this one guy, he was doing my feet, right? And he dropped something, right? He thought he was finna start working on my feet with it. Okay, he started wiping it off like with his hands, like that's not gonna help. No, I said don't even use it. Just put it down. Then he picked up another object, and I'm just praying. I was praying the whole time, like Lord, don't let it be nothing on there. Don't listen, cause I really be in tune when people doing anything to my body. Look, and the only thing I've ever had done, you know, saying, far as pamper wise is my feet now. Okay, so nobody's never waxed me, none of that stuff. Okay, but I'm always in tune because this dentist did me like that, right? He comes in, he tries to put this tooth back in my mouth on my root canal, and he dropped it, right? Like I'm crazy and dumbfounded, and I'm not. I looked on the floor and I said, and he picked it up and thought he was gonna stick it right back in my mouth. And I said, no, you're not. No, don't do that. I said, sanitize that, do what you need to do, but don't put that back in my mouth. And that was the day I grabbed my tooth and walked right out of the dentist's office. Let me tell you, I haven't heard from them since because they know they could have got sued for something like that. Like, don't play with me like that. But anywho, I hope that y'all are having an absolute great Monday. Listen, do not sleep on Mondays. This is a refresh week. Just like Fridays when it's the end of the week, we need to be happy and rejoicing and just be like, listen, this is the first of the week, and God is going to do some things this week. He's gonna you know what I'm saying, bring me through a whole nother week, but with blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. We need to be having our mind like that. Listen, we need to be connected to God each and every day like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just as happy today as I am on Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays. Listen, I know sometimes Mondays can be the most busiest day, and you just wish, like, listen, I wish I didn't have to be at work on Monday because listen, it's just the worst day. And sometimes Mondays are the easier day. Sometimes Monday is the easiest day than the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? But I remember when I used to be off on Mondays, and you know, and then I would have to go work on Tuesday. I would be so happy because I'd be like, listen, that makes the week go fast. You know, and so just appreciate your Mondays, okay? Listen, it's a fresh start to the week. Listen, and you just get up and you be like thanking God, and just be like, listen, God, it's me and you this week, Father, and we gonna get through this week. We gonna get through it, hallelujah, through the by your help, Father. You know, and that's just like, even if you have your own business, listen, Lord, I know that we gonna make it through this week. Lord, what do you have for me to do? Listen, I include God in all my week now, like everything. Like, listen, I'm not making any plans. I'm not doing any of those things because he don't want us to do that. Listen, my calendar right here usually be filled up by now. It is scarce because I'm like, listen, what? I just been spending time in resting in God and just letting him speak to me, and I'm just listening to him. Like, I need to hear from you, Lord. I need to know what you want me to do. You know, and so when we sit back and you're a Christian, you're really living the life that God told you to live, you need to listen to him. You need to take a little quiet time and just focus on God and be like, listen, what are you saying to me, Father? What are you saying? Because I'm really trying to hear you. But you cannot hear God with all of the noise that's going around in your head or all of the noise that's going on around you. So sometimes when everybody is going, you just need to take that little time and just be like, listen, I'm going to fall on my knees and I'm just going to listen to you, God. I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to listen to what you are saying to me. Because God is speaking. He is. It's just sometimes we get so busy that, and there's so much commotion and everything, distractions going on, that we're just not, we can't hear him. But if you take that time to relax in his presence and just be like, listen, I'm listening to you, Lord. I'm listening. Because I had to start doing that. Like, I would take time in prayer, like, before I would say anything, I would just kneel down and just wouldn't say a thing. Just listen to what he's trying to tell me. What do you want from me on today, God? How do you want me to help somebody today? What do you want, Lord? You know? And sometimes if I don't do it from the beginning, I'll wait to the end. Like, after I pray, I'll just lay in his presence and just be like, what are you, I'm just trying to hear what he's trying to say. I'm trying to listen. And so I've been getting a lot of prophets and a lot of people saying that, listen and wait and connect with God. Just be on one accord with God and just really be in his presence throughout the whole week, each and every day. Some people go to church and that's all they do. I'm like, I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to be one of those Christians that I just go to church and that's all. I never take the time out to get in my word. I never take the time out to study. I never take the time out to just really buckle down and get to know who God really is and what he really wants to do for me in my life. I don't want to be one of those, because when he says well done, I want my works to be before me, and he say you did a great job, well done, thy good and faithful servant. There was a time in my life where I was just sitting there like, I'm not doing a thing, like I'm not doing anything, like, and I'm telling you, and the Lord got me to the point where it's time to get up and do something. That's why I started doing Bible studies on Tuesdays, and then I did the prayer connection. I mean, I just started doing a lot of stuff. But listen, if it's not to the glory of God, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Because it needs to be to the glory of God. Listen, God started opening up doors. He started making ways for me when I just released it all to his hands. When I just said, God, I give you my all. I give you my everything. I surrender all to you. That's when the doors started opening. I did have opportunities coming my way. Yes, but they wasn't like big opportunities. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God is just showing me, like, listen, if you just lay aside every weight, everything that's trying to pull you away from me, and just focus on me and just let me be your plans. Listen, we have to place our plans in his hands and just be like, listen, this is not my plan. Lord, what do you have for me to do today? Okay? And I'm telling you, this young man was talking about how he died, and and the spirit told him he was gonna die, but he was gonna be saved. That God was gonna save him. Oh my goodness! Everybody needs to see this video. I'm pretty sure it's that went viral. Of this guy, of this young man. He's a young man telling how the spirit was so just talking to him and all of this. Listen, we need to be in tune with God. We need to be able to hear what he is saying to us. There's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to hear him. That's why we need to be hearing him now in this time, in this season. God is doing some transformations. He's doing some things. He's leveling us up. But we have to be ready and just, oh my gosh, spending time with him in his presence so he can level us up. And we can't be letting distractions come in and just, just distraction after distraction, because that's what the enemy is trying to do. He don't want us to get what God is trying to give us. He has so many blessings for us. It's like, if we're not paying attention, don't look like that. That was my daughter. If we're not paying attention, we might miss it. We don't want to miss any of our blessings. At least I don't. I want to be ready when he calls me home. I want to be absolutely ready. And then I want people to listen. I want, when he say well done, it's well done. When he said it's going to be really well done, if you're doing what you're supposed to do. So he says, take him everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful. Don't be having your mind on other things. That's one of the things I'm just like, Lord, I need to keep my mind stayed on you, doing your will, because I know that you have something big for me. And if I don't listen to you, if I'm not taking the time out to spend time with you, I will miss the mark. I won't be able to get your blessings because I'm not doing what you told me to do. Oh, and this is what I said. Trust and obey. Y'all heard that song, Trust and Obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. So I said, listen, that's my motto for every day, trust and obey. That's what we need to be doing, just trusting and obeying. And I'm telling you, the prayer connection is fit to go up so big. Oh my gosh, I mean, every day since the day that the Lord told me to name it that, it's been just, everybody just connect, connect, connect. We need to be connecting with God in prayer. We need to be connecting with God each and every day. He says, stay connected to me. And so I'm like, Lord, I see what you're saying now through all of this connection, connect, connect. You're telling me to stay connected to you. Stay connected. Because when we are unconnected with God, we are out there in danger. We need to be connected. It's just like when you unplug a power source, it's dead. Okay? You have to plug it back in to get that power again. You have to plug it back in to get that source again, that power source. So when we are unplugged from God, we are out there all alone. And He cannot help us when we're unconnected with Him. So make sure today that you are connected with God, with His power, His source. And He's given us tools to be able to live the life that He told us to live. He gave us prayer. He gave us praise. He gave us the word of God. He gave us, all of these things. He gave us the fruit of the Spirit. And that is one of the things we really need in our lives. We need to have His Spirit in us. The Spirit will lead and guide you in the way that you should go. And when I be talking to y'all like this, I'm talking to myself as well. Like, listen, we don't want to miss the mark. We don't want to miss what God has for us out there. We don't want to miss all His blessings. But if we're not being obedient and we're not trusting Him, then we are missing His blessings. So I'm like, Lord, just keep me focused on you. Keep my mind focused straight on you. Not turning to the left, not turning to the right, not looking to the back. Just focus totally on you. Looking ahead, not back. Because what is back going to do for me? What is the past going to do for me? Nothing but put me back into darkness where I don't want to be. I want to be in the light of the Lord. So we have to keep our minds. He said, watch and pray. So we have to be on alert. We have to be watchful. We have to stay alert each and every day. We don't know when this life is going to end. We don't know what's going to happen. So therefore, we have to stay focused on God, and we have to be have our lights shining. We can't let our lights go out. We can't let our lights go dim. We have to stay alert, watchful, waiting on God, because we don't know. We don't know when He's coming. We don't know when He's returning. This world is not our home. Heaven is our home, or either hell, and I don't want to go there. I'd rather go to heaven so I can feel the goodness of God, so I can praise Him daily, so I can live in His presence, so I can have joy down in my heart every day, each and every day, in heaven. Okay, so we don't need to be just totally focused on the earth, because listen, this shall all pass away. But only what we do for Christ will last. Only what we do for Him will last. I can talk to somebody today on here, and they get saved, and they really truly give their lives over to God and live the life that He told them to live. That's something that's going to last a lifetime. That's something that's going to last for eternity. So only what we do for Christ will last. All these other things that's going to pass away, they're going to pass away, they're going to be gone. But what we do for God is going to last. I'm just so excited to come. And I was like, Lord, please give me a word to give to your people because they need to hear a word from you. If 2020 wasn't a wake up call to some people, I don't know what will be. I don't know what will be, because that was a time to really rest and really to spend time with God. You know, so many people are running here, there, everywhere, and they just don't have time to sit back and really rest, rest in God, and just bask in His presence. They listen. And, you know, a lot of people were saying that was the time for you to start your business. That was the time for you to do this. That was the time. Well, that was the time for you to also rest in God and listen to what He had to say to you, because He could have been the one to go ahead and start that business for you. You know, just by you sitting down, resting in Him, listening to His word, listening to what He has to say to you, He could have gave you some businesses that will last a lifetime, that you will be able to feed your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, just on down the line. But people were not doing that. They were too busy focusing on themselves and what I need to do, what kind of business I need to run, what kind of trying to really survive. That's what we were trying to do, just survive, really. But that was a time of resting. That was a time to reflecting on Christ, and you know, just sitting down and like, Lord, what would you have me to do? Because there were a lot of people that were hurting. They were losing families, doing all of this stuff. That was the time to rest and really let God come in and just you know, penetrate your heart and just come in with His Spirit and just be like, Lord, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? My husband didn't lose his job around that time. I had a job around that time, so I was working, but I was still praising. Because there was a time where I was on my job and I was so sick. I mean, stuff was starting to try to come against me, and I was like, oh, I think not. I think not. So I said, I hope that I get to get off work early, because I'm supposed to pray whatever this is off of me. I'm finna get up and I'm supposed to give God all the praise. It's going to be me and God. And my husband did not come in the room, did not disturb me, did not. Listen, it was me and God that day. And I'm telling you, whatever tried to come against my body did not come. It could not come, because I let the Holy Spirit in. Listen, that thing went away. It got off of me. I started, I'm telling you, before I started praising God and stuff, it was like I could feel all the sickness trying to come against me, come on my body, like you know how you start to get the fever and you start to feel cold and all of that stuff? That was trying to come on me. I said, I think not. And I got off work early, and I mean, when I tell you I went into prayer, I went into praise, I did all that. I used all the tools that God gave me to use. That sickness could not stay. It had to go. So it left, and I thank God for that. And sometimes He just wants to get our attention, because we're so busy, we're so doing so many things, that He wants to just get our attention and make us pray. I don't want God to sit there and make me pray. I want to just get down and talk to Him anyway. Listen, I just want to have a relationship with Him anyway. I don't want God to have to make me do a thing. Like, no, like I'm gonna do it, Lord, because you told me to do it. You don't have to lay me down in a hospital bed because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. You don't have to do none of those things, because I'm just gonna just be obedient and just trust your word and just lean and depend on you and just do what you told me to do. And what that young man said today was just so heartfelt and so touching. It's like, if you don't believe God after that, what are you believing in? Because, I mean, he said after that experience, I mean, he's just, whatever God tells him to do, he just do it now. Like, because, whew, after experience like that, we all will be living the life, you know. And this is why testimonies are so important, because somebody needs to hear what you've been through, so they can be like, okay, if they're going through it, then They know that, listen, all I need to do is really seek God's face. All I need to do is have a relationship with him. All I need to do is surrender all. Just live the life that he told me to live. And not only because he's doing something for me, but because I love him, because I love him because of who he is. He's a big God. He's a big God. And so we need to think of God as that. God is doing something really good in my life, something really big in my life. And it's like, I am not doubting him at all. Like, no, 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 no doubt. Because if he can come in and heal this heart that I've been dealing with for 30 something years, this heart problem that I was dealing with, which I don't have anymore, thank you, Jesus, for 30 something years, and the devil tried to make me doubt him, and I said, no, I'm not doubting God, I'm trusting God, and I'm just going to continue to go to church, continue to praise him, going to continue to do what I need to do for him. And he healed my heart. Are you dealing with something on today? And you wondering, can this thing go away? Can it be fixed? Because nothing is impossible with God. All things are possible with God. So therefore, yes, he can fix it. What the doctors can't do, he can do. And I'm telling you, God really worked with those the people to help with my heart, to fix my heart. Listen, if he didn't give them the brain, if he didn't give them the knowledge, if they didn't go to school for it, they wouldn't know how to do it. But because he gave them the knowledge to do it, they did it. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And it's a testimony. And sometimes when we go through things, we don't understand why we go through it. But God always shows us in the end, listen, this is why I had to take you through this thing. It's not because of you, it's because of somebody else. It's to help somebody else out there that's going through and they're like lost and they don't know how to get out of something or they don't know what to do. And then you come with your testimony. You tell them about how God has really healed your heart, how he has truly stepped in because you were faithful to him, because you were doing the things that he asked you to do. That's enough to give your life totally to God and be saved right there. Because he loves us. And he said, I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you. Just give me your heart. Just let me live in your heart. Just let the Spirit come in and live through you. So others can see the goodness of God. If you have a big testimony out there, don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to give it to God. I mean, give it, share it for God, because he has done this thing for you. He has done this. As y'all come in, throw up the likes, because listen, who wouldn't want to hear a word like this from the Lord? Who? I said, go ahead and hit up those likes. Let me know that you like what you're hearing, because like I said, it's a lot of hurting people out there. And if we are truly Christians and living a life for the Lord, we need to be that light in their lives. We need to show them that God is real and he really, really loves you. We are the light of the world. We are that light. And he said, when you put up a light up on a stand, do you hide that light? No. You are not going to go get a light and light it and put it under something so you can't see it. You put it on top of the stand so it can shine bright. And that's what we are. We are the light. And I tell you, there was a time where we were invited to a party, and I said this once before. And I was like, if I have to pretend to be something that I'm not going. If I have to pretend to do something that I don't do, I'm not going. So you can count me out. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be mean. I'm just being me. And I'm just being real. Because listen, my Heavenly Father is watching me. So I cannot go and do something that the devil want me to do. I think not. Okay? And so we went to my my husband's brother's graduation. And, And so they was like, are you gonna go to the, the little party they have to have afterwards, and I was like, yeah, because see, I didn't go to the last party they had because they wanted us to pretend we were drinking. I'm like, I don't do that, so I'm not going. So I'm not even gonna put myself in a position like that. And so I didn't go, but this time I went. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Sit down, and my daughter was like, Mommy, you just all to yourself. I am the light of the world. I can't do what the world is doing. I can't do what they're doing. I have to show a difference in myself. And even if I'm there, that doesn't mean that I have to participate in the things that they are doing because that's not something that I do. And so I just looked at it as such. And sometimes I get ignored because of that. Sometimes I get pushed back because of that. But you know what? When you truly live the life that God told you to live, God really is pleased. God is really honored. God is really happy when you do what you're supposed to do and stand out from the crowd. Because listen, I don't do those things. So why would I, entertain something that I don't do? I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there to support you. Yeah, I'll do that. But I'm not participating in drinking. I'm not participating in none of those things because that's not what I do. I'm here to support and to, really to be there for my husband. He was like, are you going to go? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go, eat, all that. But other than that, no. And I'll be waiting right here until you're ready to go home. And people look down on me, but listen, they look down on Jesus. What did they do to him? But I'm just happy because I please God. Because I'm not partaking in things that I don't supposed to partake in. That's truly living for God. That's truly doing the right thing. That's truly, listen, when he tells you to be obedient and do the right thing, listen, that's like even being online. These people, I see a lot of people saying they're Christians, they this and that. But you're doing everything everybody else is doing. And my God don't want me to get caught up in that. So this is why I'm like, listen, whatever you want me to do, Father, I will do it. Like, however you want me to do the videos, Lord, I would do it. I'm not doing this to please nobody else. I'm doing this to please you. It's what you're going to. And listen, I'm telling you, when I started doing that, that's when the views start coming. That's when things started to happen because I'm letting God get the glory out of whatever I do, even my businesses, the glory out of my life, whatever he wants. It's not even about me. It's not even about what I want. Because when you truly trying to make it to heaven, when you truly trying to get there, you won't let all of these people and things around you influence you to do what you're not supposed to be doing. And so I thought about that when I was sitting there and like I'm just there and nobody sees me, but God sees me. So it doesn't matter if they're looking at me. It doesn't matter if they see me because God sees me and he's pleased with me. And long as he's being pleased, I'm happy. And so I thought about that. Just like he said, be in the world. You're in this world. You live in this world, but you're not of the world. You're not a part of this world. So I'm in that house. I see what they're doing, but I'm not a part of what they're doing. I'm doing what God told me to do, and that's to shine my light. I'm that candle sitting over there on the side, shining the light. Listen, I'm just sitting there, letting the light shine, being different from the crowd, not being the same. Every time we come, they ask my husband to pray. Will you pray? Because you are the minister. Not one time have I seen them pray or say, And then at one point, my husband was like, well, will you pray? He asked me to pray. And I was like, yeah, I'll pray, So there has to be a difference when you're really, truly living the life that God told you to live. When he called you. This one man had such a testimony. He said that God was chasing him. He was in the gangs. He was doing things that he should not have been doing. Until one day, I'm trying to think, was he walking across the street? Was he riding a bike? Was he in the car? I think he was walking across the street and he got hit by an 18-wheeler. But he didn't die. He lost the arm, of course. He lost his arm, and that's not good. Like, what? Like, why would it take you all of that just to just be like, Lord, I surrender. Lord, I give you my all. Now he's living the life that God told him to live. When you could have just been obedient and just did what God said do, and you wouldn't have to go through all of that stuff. So sometimes we just have to just be like, Lord, I surrender. I give my life to you. I live the life that you told me to live. And so, so you won't have to just go through those things, because when God is chasing you, you need to answer the call. Just be like, listen, Lord, I'm here. Whatever you want from me, Father, I'm here. I'm going to leave the past alone. I'm going to leave everything alone. Everything that's not of you, I'm leaving it alone. Because what did I say earlier? This world is not our home. We've got to meet him one day. We've got to meet him one day. And whether you want to meet him saying, "Good, well done, my good and faithful servant," or do you want him to say, "Depart from me, I never knew you"? Which one do you want to hear today? Because I want to hear, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You have done your works. You have done what I called you to do. You've done what I ordained you to do." I want to hear those words. And when we listened to that young man's testimony, me and my daughter, she's 20 years old, she was like, oh my goodness. I mean, it really touched us in a way like, wow, like, he's real. He's real. And he's shown himself so many times to me. So many times I could have got hit. Not so many times, but 5 times by, and it's probably more than that now, but I'm just sticking with the 5 different times I could have been hit by 5 different cars, and God did not let not one car hit me. Not one scratch hit me. Nothing happened. We almost ran into a diesel. Me and my 3 girls. I have 2 girls. It was, the other one wasn't with us, but I thank God for how we reached heaven that night, and we asked God to slow the vehicle down that we were driving, because somebody made a mistake trying to get off the highway and forced us to almost run into a diesel. But God said not so. He took care of us that night. He said, I'm going to let you live. So I'm so thankful and so grateful for that. A lot of times y'all need to hear these testimonies. Testimonies of how I almost died bleeding to death overnight and did not know it because I was having a tubal pregnancy. And that was the second one. The first one, I didn't know exactly what was going on. But the second one, I kind of had a clue of what was going on. But they showed me in pictures that was going on. They showed me the picture where the tube was bursting through, where the egg was bursting through the tube. And I was bleeding overnight. And I thank God for waking me up that next morning and let me go to the hospital so they can fix this thing. Because a lot of women don't survive that. And I know for a fact God let me survive that. Because I was like, why do people not surviving? Because there's so much pain that you would have to go to the doctor. But they're bleeding to death and they really don't know it. And if you don't get to the hospital in time, then there's no telling what's going to happen. So I thank God for letting me make it to the hospital in time, both times. He has brought me through so many things in my life that I'm a whole living testimony. I am a walking testimony. And I mean, it's a lot of times these people are not even doing testimony service. We should have testimony service because people need to hear the goodness of the Lord. Sometimes that's all it takes for someone to get saved. If they can just hear what God done for you and they can just be like, God is real. He is real. I just hope whoever out there is on just like, they want to be saved, but they don't know. Go ahead, give your life over to God, live the life, and watch what he'll do. Because I just know for a fact that if I wasn't serving God the way that I was serving him, I told my kids, I don't know where would I be. I don't know. I would probably be dead in my grave because I didn't serve God. I wasn't doing what he told me to do. But I'm doing what God told me to do. And that's why he saved me from all of those wrecks and all of those things and just being here, you know. And then dealing with a heart problem for 30 some years and having 3 children on top of it. And God brought me through it while pregnant each time. I had three children that I lost, and I have 3 living children. So I've been pregnant since 6 times, but I lost 3 and I have 3 living children. So it's like, wow, I am a true living testimony. And I just thank God for my testimony on today. Listen, as y'all come in, come on, hit up the likes. Thank you, whoever gave me a like. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope y'all like this video. Please, I don't know if y'all can share it because listen, I tried to go and share some of the videos myself and I couldn't, but just invite somebody. When you go on live, listen, say, you want to go listen to this live with me? Because, listen, God is really saying some things. He is doing some things in this season that, ooh, if we are not alert, if we're not listening, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss all our blessings. We're going to miss it. And I'm like, Lord, I don't want to miss it. So Lord, I want to walk with you every day. I want you to talk with me. I want to be in your presence. I want to wake up with you and I want to go to sleep with you at nighttime. And you know it's sweet rest. It's sweet rest. You don't have to worry about all these worries going on in your head because listen, you done released all that stuff to God and you just basking in his presence until you fall asleep, and it's just sweet sleep. You wake up refreshed in the morning and you start the day all over with God again. All over again with God. And you just have joy. You just have peace. Listen, there's things that's going to come, but listen, that's why God is there. He's there for you, to help you, to run to him in the time of trouble. When you have trouble, when there's things going on that you just don't understand, that's the time to really run to him when you're weak and you're low and you just don't understand. And I say this all the time, like, Lord, let me just fall down on my knees and pray. When things come, Father, that I just really don't understand, Father, just let me fall on my knees and pray. Don't let me lose it. Don't let me go crazy. Don't let me lose my mind. Just let me fall on my knees and pray to you, Father. Boy, if we did that, all of us, oh, what the world would be. If we all got saved, we all just lived the life that God told us to live, this world would be so absolutely beautiful. Just absolutely amazing. But that's what we are here for, to be that light. I love you guys on today, and I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I'm just so happy to be bringing you another live. And if you like the video again, please share it. And also, if you have not become a part of this Christian community, come on, be a part. Be a part of it. Because I know it's some hurting people out there today. And if you are really trying to live saved, you are really trying to live the life, listen. You want to come over here and you want to listen and see what God is saying to you. Be blessed on today and have an absolute phenomenal day. Love you much. Be blessed.